Welcome people of YouTube, Jack Gash here again today. Thank you for joining me and thank you for clicking on this video. Carter Rob Johnson, thank you for your comment. Sent me a message the other day asking me to make a video about how to make the world a better place. So making the world a better place. Quite interestingly, I read in Jordan Peterson's book is a nice comment, and this is where I'd like to start this video, is you can't go changing the world without tidying your own house first. That's an important thing to make. We have many people who go around trying to put the world in order, trying to tell people how to live, when you boil it down, they're not 100% perfect themselves. What even is perfect? But, you know, they're not 100% clean cut themselves. So that's the first thing I'd like to say, is working on yourself first. That is the best way of making the world a better place. If you make the best potential out of yourself, if you make the best version out of yourself, then you've got a good foundation to start making a difference around you. We live our lives sometimes with buried trauma that we haven't faced yet, with habitual behaviour, with complete disregard to oneself, with no conscious action, completely living life unconsciously, just living off reactions and compulsions and just going off the body's reactions. We don't live consciously. So when you become conscious, how do you become conscious? Become aware of yourself, become aware of the way you think, become aware of how you talk to yourself on a daily basis, become aware of, even just awareness of this one, awareness of how you feel, awareness of your surroundings, your breath, the body, the way you feel as a person. Become aware of that first. You know, a journey of self-discovery, you find so much out about yourself, and I'm talking through this off experience. You know, I used to be a person who carried a lot of pain in the world, a lot of anger and frustration that I wanted to act out against the world. It was inside me and I wanted everybody to feel the way I did. And as time went on and I went on this journey of internal discovery, listening to my internal self, trying to develop some form of intuition, that's when I started discovering more about myself and the way I thought and the reasons as to the way I thought. You see, a classic example is alcoholism or drug addiction or comfort eating and stuff like that. All them are a consequence of something that's happened within your life, and you're finding a coping mechanism for that. So when you start reviewing yourself and, oh yeah, maybe I do comfort eat, maybe I have got some form of addiction, but why? So then you start peeling back the layers, and this is peeling back you as an individual, and this is getting down to your core of your existence, because we live on many layers in life. There's many levels to existence, and some of it's unconscious, and the more you fetch consciously, because we bury things unconsciously, we don't want to think of as trauma, we don't want to think of as pain. They're horrible things, but if we don't face them, if we don't bring them to the surface, then they'll never get solved, they'll never be resolved. So when you fetch them to the surface, yes, it's horrible, yes, it's painful, but through that and at the other end of that becomes healing. And this is how we heal ourselves as individuals. And then we don't carry pain into other people's lives. We don't inflict it on others. We don't feel, you know, resentment towards other people who are happier than us. We don't feel resentment to those around us because we've healed ourselves. And that's the first point I'd like to make about making the world a better place, is make something better out of yourself. Do something today that you can, what is a decision you can make today that you will benefit tomorrow? Do it. You know, like start the journey of self-discovery. How else can we make the world a better place? Is by helping people. See, we can't help others if we haven't helped ourselves. So once we've helped ourselves and we've kind of established yourself to some degree, then you can help others. Helping others makes you feel better about yourself. I've had so many friends, even strangers, come up to me and start talking about their life troubles, about things that are going on in the mind, how they're feeling, you know, many deep-rooted things come out. And it's because I hold myself in that way. I try and make myself an open environment and a friendly place for people to be themselves. That's how I am in life. So when these situations occur, you're helping somebody. It makes you feel better as well, because you can feel the relief coming off somebody. You can feel the release of some form of trauma, some form of anxiety, or whatever it may be, and that lift that they have, you feel too, because you've helped with that process. So yeah, helping people, even helping people, physically. It can be helping somebody carry something. It can be giving somebody a lift. It can be something of a good gesture. Become a service to other people, and you will feel better about yourself. And in turn, you're making the world a better place, because you're showing people how it is when you are in service to people, in helping other people. You're telling people, this is how we can be. Communified, oneness, togetherness, making the world a better place. Be kind. Be nice to people. We have so many vicious-tongued people, and so much people with aggression. I used to be one of them too. If you talk to a few people who I went to school with, it's a completely different personality change because of how I am now. So, being kind, say nice things, give people compliments, create a laugh, have some humour. Don't take life too seriously. That is making the world a better place. Because we've got into this, even for the past 2 years of the current goings on and the world shenanigans, everybody's so serious. Nobody wants to be near each other. Everybody wants to keep distance. Everybody's got to follow certain rules. We've got a hierarchy system in people who are following rules and people who are breaking them. There's so much division. And if you can, somewhere in that, break that division by being kind and being loving towards even the strangers in the street and strangers in the shop, that's making the world a better place. You're making something better out yourself as well. And if there is a God or mighty beings, I'm sure they'd be proud of you for making that adjustment to your life. Another point I'd like to make the world a better place is fairness. There is so much greed in this world. There's so much mine, keep it all for myself. If you can find some form of sharing in whatever way that may be, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but if you can share things, I find that when I share things with other people, it feels nice because you're giving something away. You're not trying to keep it all for yourself. Let's be honest, you can't take it with you. So sharing it while you're here, you see, this is what I'm going to say. And this is probably leading up to my last few points now, but we're all born naked. We're all born equal. 100%. Nobody's actually born unequal to others when you think about it from the individual themselves. We might be born into riches, we might be born into poor, I understand that, but what I'm saying is on a straight basis, we're all born naked. We're born, and we're all moving towards death. That is the destination we're going to. It might be a hard pill for anybody watching this to swallow. It might be a depressive point that I'm making on this video. But I find it quite liberating. I find death liberating. Because I think it all comes to an end anyways. So why should I take it all serious? Why should I get so stressed? Why should I lose sleep over anything? Because one day it'll come to pass and I won't be able to get my words out. I won't be able to even experience that stress because it'll be gone. So just take everything as it comes. So we're all born, we all die, and in between is what we choose to do in life, what we choose to live, how we choose to live, and everybody else is on that journey. We're all in that together. We're all in that process together. So when you see other people, they're experiencing the same thing as you. They are going to the same place as you. And it's a good spiritual teacher that I've read a few books as well, Baba Ramdas. We're all just walking each other home. We're all just going to that destination. So if you can see people in that light, if you can see people in that oneness, you're making the world a better place, because that is the true reality of the world. We've got so much segregation and division and judgments and stuff like that. If you can create yourself in such a way of feeling that everybody around you is involved and associated with you, and everybody has a place, everybody is appropriate, that's a nice environment. You'll get people naturally warming to you. You'll get so many different friends and so many different connections because you've not limited yourself to certain individuals or certain kind of people. So yeah, my last point I'd like to make is monetize your judgment. And this is where I'm going to finish. You see, judgment is a good thing in certain situations because judgment will help us judge certain individuals. Somebody might be dangerous around us, somebody might be a bit deceiving, and we might not notice that. So judgment helps us with stuff like that, but judgment can also be a hindrance too. If we judge the world so heavily, if we judge people so heavily, we neglect how we're being ourselves. Constantly pointing the finger, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you, and that's the important thing. When we constantly point and decide and judge and criticise and tell everyone how to live their lives, we're always forgetting how we're living. We're always forgetting what we're doing and what contribution we're making. So just monetize that. Make sure it's used in the right situation and not constantly living through judgment and judgment of other people. And that's where I'd like to finish. Thank you for your message. And if you've got any more ideas for me to make some videos or any other topics you'd like me to talk upon, just drop me a message in the comments. I read every comment. And yeah, man, as I always say on this channel, peace and love to anybody watching this. Make sure you're taking it easy. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. I hope you've taken something away from this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang.